When I recently made Alton Brown's eggnog, many of you commented that you love Jeffrey Morgenthaler's Tequila Sherry eggnog, and it's something I've never actually had or made, but I do love all of his other cocktails, so I thought now is as good a time as any to try it. At the same time, when I was making Alton Brown's eggnog, I thought it would be fun to make a 100% rum version. I don't have anything against rum, cognac, and bourbon blends, but I think the cognac gets a little lost, and I do like rum better. While eggnog has been around forever, the recipe that became popular is from Jerry Thomas, who shared the first eggnog recipe in print that's spelled eggnog with 2 G's, with cognac, brandy, and Santa Cruz rum. Since 1862, the most popular recipes for eggnog still contain cognac and rum. But for today, instead of making the Jeffrey Morgenthaler Clyde Commons Tequila Sherry eggnog, we're gonna make the recipe and scale it down to 4 servings, but we are going to exclude the booze at first and make it with just the eggs, cream, milk, and sugar. Once the boozeless eggnog is made, I'm gonna split it in half, and I'll add tequila and sherry to one half and rum to the other. Now up on the screen right now is the recipe scaled down to a single serving. I'll have this recipe in the episode's description, and I'll have a link to Jeffrey Morgenthaler's website. He has a recipe that I think makes about a gallon. For these eggnogs, you'll need eggs, whole milk, heavy cream, sugar, tequila, sherry, and rum. We're gonna build this in a blender starting with 4 large eggs, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on to low speed. Next, I'm gonna add 150 grams of sugar or 6 ounces, and then blend this until combined and the sugar has dissolved. Add in our cream, and finally, our milk. All right, now I'm gonna divide these in half, and there's a little bit of foam here. Since the proteins from the egg yolks are in there, you're not getting a huge foamy head like you would if you were using just egg whites, and the yield is about 900 milliliters for this batch. For the Clyde Commons recipe, we'll add 2 ounces of añejo tequila. Use your favorite. I happen to only have this bottle of Hornitas or Kirkland Signature at this moment, and 2.5 ounces of an Amontillado sherry. For my rum version, I'm going to use Denison Merchant's Reserve. Doesn't get a lot of love outside of the Smuggler's Cove Mai Tai, but it's a great aged rum that's blended and brings in some of those Jamaican flavors. So I'm going to add in 4 ounces of Denison. Both versions are ready to go. You could try them now, or you could let them age for a couple days. I believe Jeffrey Morgenthaler on his website even had said that he had a version that was 5 years old and it was just as good. I'm gonna put these in the fridge just to let them chill down for a couple hours and come back and taste them. All right, these have been in the fridge for about 6 hours, so I'm going to pour these and then we will taste them. All right, let's start with the rum because those are kind of more familiar flavors for me. I'm excited to try the tequila sherry version. The rum is in the smaller snifter glass here, and the tequila sherry is in the tall coupe. So let's start with the Denison. Straight away, the overall like rumminess of it is there. You're getting some of those like tropical fruit flavors from the rum. I do like that we use Denison here because you get some of those aged wood notes, but you're also getting, you know, those like funky Jamaican flavors. But this is something that could probably stand up to even more intensely aged rum, and also something even more flavorful. So like maybe doing a split of an aged rum and a dark rum would work well in this. Is it better than the Alton Brown versions? I don't know yet, but I have them out. We will taste those in a couple minutes. So let's move on to the tequila sherry. So it's delicious, but it's like unusual, and I can't really put my finger on it. If I didn't know any better, I would not be able to tell you there's tequila in there. You get some of those notes from the aged tequila, but that overall tequila flavor, I don't pick up. But the biggest component here that makes the biggest difference is that sherry. The overall flavor from the sherry's there. You get some of those like citrusy notes from, you know, those fortified wines. But the biggest thing that's making a difference to me is you're getting a little bit of acidity. And I happen to love acidity in drinks, and kind of sneaking in that acidity through something like a fortified wine. It is so smart. It helps balance it out and lighten the drink just a little bit. And as I'm thinking about it now, it kind of opens up the possibility if you're out there and you're thinking about this and maybe you don't like tequila. Even if you don't like tequila, you'll like this. It's not an overwhelmingly tequila drink, but why not use sherry or another fortified wine in your eggnog and use another spirit, bourbon, cognac, rum, whatever it is you want. All right, before we close out this video, I do want to taste my Alton brown eggnogs. It's been about 10 days since I made the new batch. I was gonna wait 2 weeks, come back and taste them again. Instead of doing another eggnog video, we'll just taste it now against the Jeffrey Morgenthaler and against each other. So we have the one that has been aged for 1 full year that's been sitting inside of my refrigerator, and then the new version, which I made about 10 days ago. So let's pour these and see what they taste like. This one on this side of the screen is the aged eggnog. It's 1 year old. This is a new one. I'm gonna start with the aged to kind of give a baseline for that taste. It does have this like unique funkiness to it. You get sort of the custardy, eggy flavors, but you're also picking up more of the spirits in there. It just tastes like a more spirit-heavy eggnog than the Jeffrey Morgenthaler one. So let's try the new Alton Brown. After 10 days, I'm sure there's a difference there from when I first tasted it, but I'm still getting, like I did initially, then that sort of intense like punch of harshness, mainly from the Smith & Cross. That's the flavor I taste the most, a milky, eggy Smith & Cross, which I think some people will enjoy. So does 10 days in the fridge catch up to a year aged eggnog? Not even close. Well, I think I've said all there is for me to say about eggnog. I don't know if I have a clear favorite here, but as I'm tasting through these, I mean, the Jeffrey Morgenthaler Tequila Sherry, it's the most interesting, it's the most complex. There's this nuance and balance to it that I enjoy, but as I'm drinking through all these different kind of like cream drinks, these like overly heavy, eggy cocktails, the one out of these that I'm enjoying the most is the rum version. And I think it's just maybe more familiarity. It just tastes to me a little bit lighter than the Alton Brown ones. So that's it for this one. This was a bunch of eggnogs. Alton Brown's aged eggnog, Alton Brown's new eggnog, Jeffrey Morgenthaler's Tequila Sherry eggnog, and then Jeffrey Morgenthaler version with Denison rum. All great, just little differences between them. But whatever you make this holiday season, I think you'll enjoy any of these. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like below, consider subscribing. Go check out the Patreon channel for more videos and behind the scenes stuff. Otherwise, see you on the next one.